a lot of things go wrong in baseball. The numbers are against you, really, and you have to respect that. Know you get 27 outs and you still got a crack. I mean, it's our mentality when we're down by 3 that tying runs in the hole. Tying runs in the on deck circle when you're down by 2, and you got to get a crack at it. You got to put yourself in a position. It doesn't always work out, but if the mindset is such that it can, your chances are better. You never let a game go away, and I think that a lot of times the way we coach and manage is we let our players know that we don't let games go. And sometimes I've been criticized maybe for pitching Matt Price in a situation where it's not a safe situation. Maybe the 7th inning. The mentality is we're going to try to win in the 7th. The 9th inning might not be the inning where you win. So I don't think it's anything on my part that I've done special, but it's the players, I believe, get into the mindset that you get 27 outs. Let's just play them to the end, and hopefully things will work out.
Brandon, a bit off the path with this one, do you have any opinion on the tweaks that they proposed to the playoff system? Flipping the
regionals and supers,
adding a week and having 3-game series each weekend?
I like it the way it is, and I haven't spent as much time researching as maybe some other people, but my answer is it's good right now. The coverage, all the super regionals on television, it's a good product. The attendance is great around the country. Why do we need to do anything? But, I don't get ahead of myself. I mean, I think what happened for us last year was magnificent. We're back here on the same stage again. That's more than you can ever dream of as a coach and as a player. It's hard to do. I know there's some programs that have been here a long, long time and have great streaks, but there's a lot of great coaches and great players that never got here, and I understand that. And so, we're going to do the best we can. We'd like to win, and not thinking too much about last year or anything. We'd like to be able to do well against the Gators and win the series. It's the next thing on the docket.
I remember after that Alabama series when you clinched the regular season, you were pretty emotional after that. What was it that caused those emotions, and is it just a matter of everything that kind of came together from the pitching to the injuries and all that?
I think back then it was a culmination of how hard it was to get there, how stressful it was because of our injuries. And, you have to go to Stephen Neff and say, hey, I know you haven't swung the bat in 3 or 4 years, but we need to start taking some BP because you're going to be playing left in 3 days. I mean, and we had to endure that, not having Jackie and not having Matthews, and for these guys to be able to survive. And one of the themes we have in our program is win anyway, because at times there's a negative comment, there's some adversity, but when that happens or that's said, then those 2 words come out: win anyway. It's 42 degrees, the wind's blowing in, win anyway. And that's sort of the thing that this team was able to accomplish it. And, by winning or getting a share of the regular season, that's a hard thing to do. And these guys, I thought, did it in the most difficult circumstance.
Did you think back to the fall and the beginning of the year, did you really believe that this team could get back? Were there doubts?
Of course, with me, there's doubts because I don't think I'm a pessimist, but I'm certainly not an optimist either. I'm very realistic, and we started without a rotation. As Wingo said, there was a core group. There were some pretty good players in there because at that time, you got Jackie, you got Marzilli, you got Matthews, one of the best outfields in the country supposedly, and then you got Walker's back with Alice, Wingo, and Brady Thomas was back in the fold. You felt like there was a core group. But are you going to pitch? Are you going to be good enough? We had some candidates, but they were unproven. Cooper and Dyson, 200 and something innings last year. That wasn't evident. So we had to figure it out from that standpoint, and we sort of battled along the way and won some close ones and stayed in a pretty good position.
Talked a little bit during the press conference about how important small ball has been, especially in this last 2 games for both of you guys. Is that something you focused on a lot today and yesterday in practices, working on bunts, fielding, and everything?
Well, yeah, that's more of an emphasis now than ever before. I mean, I've had teams where certain hitters, you're not going to bunt. You're just not bunting. We're not taking the bat out of your hand under any circumstances, and that has not been the case. Going forward with the change in bats, like Coach O'Sullivan said, the walk's a big offensive play now. And to move runners to get in position is really incredible. I think the other night was one of the few times the entire year where I said I'm not gonna bunt Walker when he came up there in a bunt situation, because I envisioned Walker bunting and then Jackie getting walked, and all of a sudden two of my best guys I didn't get to the plate. So, but that hasn't been the mentality throughout. It's about getting in scoring position and try to win the game.
In this day and age, I can never get another LSU here, and could that be you think?
Oh, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think there can be. Maybe so, and maybe you know, Coach O'Sullivan's team will be that. But the parity in college baseball is better than ever, and I think it's great that it is, because that means there's been a greater commitment from a lot of other programs. You still see the teams over the years, the traditional powers in college baseball. They're still there, but now there's other teams. You know, UConn's one of the better teams we played all year from a talent standpoint. Very, very talented, very good. And I think it's just hard to, you know, Coach Burtman won 5 national championships in 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Really? That's incredible. That I can't, and maybe it'll be done again, but I just can't. I can't see it the way the landscape is in college baseball.
Did you model? I'm sorry. Did you model what you built after LSU? You kind of you got there right about that time, didn't you?
Well, Coach Burtman, you know, I've had a lot of coaches, Coach Barrett at Auburn and Coach Burtman at LSU, Coach Polk, guys that I've had a great relationship with over the years, and he was very influential and instrumental to me in a lot of ways. Number one, Coach Burtman is a tremendous motivator. He spends as much time in his career, he spent as much time motivating and talking about mindset as he did, you know, teaching a guy how to throw a slider or a guy how to hit. And so he was a tremendous influence on me. But, you know, at the time it was guerrilla ball. You got to pitch and hit. That was where it was back then, pitch and hit. You really didn't talk about defense too much because you could overcome that, because you would hit, you know, 3 home runs and 2 of them would be 3-run shots. You know, they would put up a bunch of runs in a hurry. But as I said, I spent a lot of time with Coach Burtman and Coach Polk as well in that same 2-year stints, and it was very influential. I learned a lot.